Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Bhajajan Ranjana Yasodananda Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. I heard you on a marathon. You on a marathon? 8:30. Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Bhajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayom Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivajatacharya Shtaka Sadashla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Guru Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sri Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopaya Shamakunda Radhakunda Gita Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Ki Ganga Maya Ki Yamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Samaveta Bhaktivedanta Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Shri What's the latest? What's the new campaign? Go to Goloka? What are you on now?
Living to give.
Huh?
Living to give.
Live to give now, is it? Live to give campaign ki jai. Go Premanandi. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Padaya Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Vicharini Namaste Sasanyavani Pastijade Shatarine. It was go to, I thought it was go to Goloka. Live to give. Okay, Hare Krishna. So welcome this morning for Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with book, Personality of Godhead in the form of the book, and in pure devotees of the Lord. So apparently we're reading from the second canto, chapter 4. Is it right? Text number?
13.
Huh?
13.
What are we on here? Oh, there it is. Text number 13. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The title of the chapter is The Process of Creation. And Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. Another class is going on outside somewhere. Interesting. So please repeat. Bhuyaha Namaha Sat Vijina Chide Asatam Asambhavaya Akila Sattva Murtaye Pungsam Punaha Paramahangsye Ashrame Vyavastitanam Anumrigya Dashushe Bhuyo Namaksad Vijini Chide Satam Asambhava Yakila Sattvamurtaye Pungsam Punak Paramahangsya Ashrame Yavastitanam Anumrigyadashase Bhuyo Namaksad Vijinachide Satam Asambhavaya Kila Sattvamurtaye Pungsam Punak Paramahangsya Ashrame Vyavastitanam Anumrigyadashushe Bhuyo Namaksad Vijinachide Satam Asambhavaya Kila Sattvamurtaye Pungsam Punak Paramahangsya Ashrame Vyavastitanam Anumrigyadashuse Bhuyo
Bhuyo Namah Sadvijinachide Satam. Asambhavaya Kila Sattva Murtaye. Pumsam Puna Paramahamsya Ashrame.
Vyavastitanam anamrigyadashushe. Bhuyo namah sadvijinachide satam. Asambhavaya kila sattva murtaye. Pumsam paramahamsya ashrame. Vyavastitanam anamrigyavashushe.
Bhuyo namah sadvijinachide satam.
Bhuyo namah sadvijinachide satam. Asambhavaya kila sattva murtaye. Pumsam punah paramahamsya ashrame. Vyavastitanam anamrigyadashushe. Ladies. Bhuyaha. Again. Namaha. My obeisances. Sat. Of the devotees of the pious. Vijina. Distresses. Chide. The liberator. Asatam. Of the atheists. The non-devotee demons. Asambhavaya. Cessation of further unhappiness. Akila. Complete. Sattva. Goodness. Murtaye. Unto the personality of Godhead. Unto the personality. Pungsam. Of the transcendentalists. Punaha. Again. Paramahamsya. The highest stage of spiritual perfection. Ashrame. In the status. Say status or status? Status? Status. Pardon? What do you say in America? Status or status? Status.
In America, we always are told that the British say status. So I can be
there you go. You found out now. You've been proven. I get confused because you hear this there and everywhere. Yavastitanam. Particularly situated. Anamrigya. The destination. Dashushe. One who delivers. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, who is liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses, and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations. And there's a purport quite long. Try to digest it. You won't go too fast. Sometimes when you eat too fast, you don't digest very well, so you won't go too fast. Lord Sri Krishna is the complete form of all existence, both material and spiritual. Akila means complete, or that which is not kila, inferior. Kila, monkeys. Huh? As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, there are two kinds of nature, prakriti, namely material nature and spiritual nature, external and internal potencies of the Lord. The material nature is called apara, or inferior, and the spiritual nature is called superior, or transcendental. Therefore, the form of the Lord is not of the inferior material nature. He is complete transcendence, and he is murti, or having transcendental form. Interesting word used here. Prabhupada says having transcendental form. Usually we refer murti meaning the deity. So here's the actual substance of that word. It's not just a form of the transcendence, it is actually a transcendental form. Most ordinary persons will see the deity as being statue, something perceivable, materially perceivable, something with material form. But here it clearly says murti, or it means, or equivalent, having transcendental form. You can't call anything a murti. Only specific to the form of the Lord, transcendental Lord. The less intelligent men who are unaware of his transcendental form describe him as impersonal Brahman. But Brahman is simply the rays of his transcendental body. Yasya prabha papato jastataiva Brahma samita. The devotees who are aware of his transcendental form render him service. Therefore the Lord also reciprocates by his causeless mercy and thus delivers his devotees from all distresses. The pious men who follow the rulings of the Vedas are also dear to him, and therefore the pious men of this world are also protected by him. The impious and the non-devotees are against the principles of the Vedas. And so such persons are always hampered from making advances in their nefarious activities. Some of them, who are especially favored by the Lord, are killed by him personally. As in the case of Ravana, Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa, and thus such demons get salvation and are thereby checked from further progress in their demoniac activity. Just like a kind father, either in his favor upon the devotee or his punishment of the demons, he is ever kind to everyone, because he is the complete existence for all individual existence. The Paramahamsa stage of existence is the highest perfectional stage of spiritual values. According to Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord is factually understood by the Paramahamsas only. As there is gradual realization of the transcendence from impersonal Brahman to localized Paramatma, to the personality of Godhead, Purushottam, Lord Krishna, similarly there is gradual promotion of one's situation in the spiritual life of sannyas, Kutichaka, Bahudika, Parivrajaka, and Paramahamsa are gradual progressive stages in the renounced order of life, sannyas. And Queen Kunti Devi, the mother of the Pandavas, has spoken about them in her prayers to Lord Krishna. Canto 1, Chapter 8. Maybe somebody can look that up, where Mother Kunti talks about the Paramahamsas, and if you have some means of looking it up. Prabhupada says here, Queen Kunti, Canto 1, Chapter 8, talking about the Paramahamsas. If you have database, you can easily find it. You can isolate the chapter and just look up the word. The Paramahamsas are generally found among both impersonalists and devotees. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, as clearly stated by Kunti Devi, pure Bhakti Yoga is understood by the Paramahamsas. And Kunti Devi has especially mentioned that the Lord descends, and famous verses, some of the references here to Bhagavad Gita verses, several of them, Paritranaya Sadhanam, especially to award Bhakti Yoga to the Paramahamsas. So ultimately, the Paramahamsas, in the true sense of the term, are unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has directly accepted that the highest destination is Bhakti Yoga, by which one accepts the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. Those who accept the path of Bhakti Yoga are the factual Paramahamsas. Since the Lord is very kind to everyone, the impersonalists who accept Bhakti as the means of merging into the existence of the Lord in his impersonal Brahmajyoti are also awarded their desired destination. He's assured everyone in the Bhagavad Gita 4:11, another famous verse in the Gita, Yayatamam papajante. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, there are two classes of Paramahamsas, namely the Brahmanandis, impersonalists, and the Premanandis, the devotees. And both are awarded their desired destinations, although the Premanandis are more fortunate than the Brahmanandis. But both the Brahmanandis and the Premanandis are transcendentalists. They have nothing to do with the inferior material nature, full of the existential miseries of life. And that's the purport. It's very covers many subjects. Several prominent subjects are covered in this purport, and of course indicated in the verse also. First, who are we offering respectful obeisances to? The form of complete existence and transcendence, not a relativity or partial but complete form. And Prabhupada extends on that, of course, but who delivers the pious, liberates the pious devotees, and destroys the advances of the atheistic temperament. Here it's interesting to see that Sukadeva Goswami doesn't just say destroys the non-devotees, but destroys their atheistic tendencies. And liberates the devotees from all distresses. Is a very deep topic. It's not, sometimes it's hard to ascertain how that's working. When we put that in relationship with other statements of the Lord, it's a little easier to comprehend. The verse here, Ye tamam papajati tamstataiva bijamyaham, is also mentioned, and is a key verse in the overall understanding of the process of devotional service, or we could say the reciprocation of the Lord with a living entity. In one sense, everyone's surrendering to him in different ways. The materialistic non-devotee is surrendering to the material energy in various ways, subtle and gross. So Krishna's reciprocating with them accordingly to their relationship with his energy. How he relates to his energy, they get good or bad reactions. And for the devotee, what is that delivery is not quite based on the same thing. When we read in the Nectar of Devotion the characteristics of pure devotional service, one of those characteristics is to relieve one of distress, kleshagni. But it doesn't just refer to, let's say, the normal approach of a person who's not a Paramahamsa, but they're somewhat pious, you could say, is to approach God, relieve me of my suffering. They don't go necessarily very deeply into that. They just want to, be freed of pain, temporary pain, or some distressful situation. Jai Shri Shri Ponitai Jagat Baladev Subhadra Radha Londoneshwar Ki Jai. But Rupa Goswami is not referring exactly to that, although if that's one's reciprocation with the Lord and one's pious, that you may get. But that's not the essential, and in this case we're talking of the Paramahamsas. They're not interested in that. My Lord, I've got such a bad toothache, please relieve me from my toothache. That's a paltry reciprocation in words. It's Krishna's reciprocation, but from the real point of view it's rather paltry, insignificant. The release from distress is from the causes of distress, not just the effects. So the Lord releases us from our bondage or our attachment in this world. Now, there's a significant word in the verse. They're all significant, but there's one word, namaha. We say this every day. Om Namo Bhagavate, to our spiritual master. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. So many times this word, in slightly different variations, but the word namaha is spoken or offered every day. So this is, in a sense, is the definitive word in this particular offering of Sukadeva Goswami. And the word namaha has two parts, na and ma. So ma is the bondage in the material world, or maya, our attachment to maya. And na means negating it. So by properly offering obeisance or namaha, one can get released. That's how the Lord reciprocates. He releases us from the material bondage when we properly offer our obeisance to Him. Not to anybody and everyone, you get a different reciprocation, but to this form of complete existence and transcendence, or to the Paramahamsa, the true devotee. If you would offer it to a Mayavadi Paramahamsa, and he'll reciprocate there. So, as Prabhupada says, the real meaning of Paramahamsa, of course, the complete meaning is the pure devotee of the Lord. Did you find this from the Iskcon? Oh, there it is. Huh? Huh?
Third verse of teachings of Srila.
Can you bring the book, please?
You can open 1:8.
Have I got it? Yeah, bring the first canto, please. Bring a book. I'd rather read from the book. I'm not in class. Only when it's absolutely required do we read from computers. Sometimes it is required. When a book is available, first canto Bhagavatam, just give me the book. Maybe you've sold them all, there's none left. You even sold a copy in the temple room, huh? We used to do that. There's no books left. We'd sell the we sell devotees copies, you know. I remember, I think that's what happened to my copy the day after I joined the temple. I had a Krishna book and it was not there the day after I joined. I think somebody sold it. It was like that. So for 183, I'm told. 181?
20.
You're saying 20, you're saying?
Third verse of Kunti speaking. Just say the verse. 1820.
1820, thank you. God, you're confusing us. Yeah, it's a beautiful section. We can go back even, I mean, you can go all the way. You can read the whole section if you want, but we'll just read a few verses. She's talking about how Krishna protected them, even externally speaking, so to speak, in one sense, although they did have to experience those activities in those dangerous or difficult times. They took shelter of Krishna, and Krishna protected them. You could say even externally, but primarily internally, they felt very happy because they felt Krishna's presence there. This is the difference. The devotee doesn't try to counter tenukam pam susamikshamanam. They don't necessarily try to counteract these apparent, or they may only say the word apparent karmic reactions for a devotee. They're not exactly the same. They only apparently seem to be karmic reactions. They're arrangements of the Lord to help release us from this material conditioning and help us to take shelter of Him. So they're perfect examples of that. And that Krishna then gives the devotee shelter from the being disturbed by the material energy, even though it appears to be acting still. The devotee is not disturbed by it. And the devotee doesn't act in a way to create more bondage or more karmic reactions. They act in a way that they don't create anymore. So that's the actual release, in one sense. The Lord gives them back to your devotional service so they can become free of the risk of accumulating more reactions or bondage. I'm going to read from 18. Kunti Uvacha. Srimati Kunti Devi said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances, namaste. Same thing. Unto you, because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. This word namaha is also surrender. It's the process of surrendering. And as we heard earlier, everyone's surrendering to something or someone, their mind, their senses, the world around, their government, their family, or whatever it may be. Surrendering to somebody, some demigod. Some degree of surrender is there. And Krishna reciprocates, because everyone follows my path in all respects. Everything is the energy of the Lord. And you can't get out of it. So he reciprocates according. It can be a demon or a devotee. A demon doesn't recognize the personality of Godhead as the source of the energy. He just thinks the energy is the energy and it's meant for your pleasure. And the devotee doesn't see it like that. But everyone in one sense is surrendered to him, so Krishna gives the results. So she says, you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world, this transcendental. You exist in both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all, especially the non-devotees. And for the devotees, he reveals himself accordingly. They see him in everything, in one sense. Being beyond, the next verse, being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor, covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. These are very wonderful verses of Queen Kunti, and effects of one who is under the influence of the material energy cannot perceive Atakshri Krishna Namadina Bhavad Gwayam Indriya. They cannot perceive the transcendental nature of God. They see the murti and they see stone. Because their hearts, Prabhupada said, their hearts are like stone. It's how we perceive it. Our perception is covered. We're seeing things according to our conditioning and coming to a conclusion accordingly. And everyone sees differently because everyone has a different covering, different dress. And we judge things and argue with each other. We're all wrong, but we argue with each other over it. And thus there's turmoil in this world. So another form of that protective aspect of the Lord is to release us from this seeing everything from our conditional point of view, which never ends. The problem never ends. Never ends. To see things from the transcendentalist point of view, at least to act in a way as to purify our perception, our consciousness. And the verse which you mentioned, or was mentioned in the purport of today's verse, describing the Paramahamsas, Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidarnartang Gatam Pashyema Hi Striyaha. Queen Kunti says, you yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of the advanced transcendentalists and also mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? So she's in humility, because how does she know him perfectly? Because he's humble. She doesn't think herself qualified. It's not that, oh, I'm a Paramahamsa, I'm qualified. That means we're not qualified. Paramahamsa doesn't think, I am a Paramahamsa. They think they're not qualified. Everyone else may be a Paramahamsa, but not me. So it's the humility of Queen Kunti, which is her eligibility. That is the nature of a Paramahamsa, one of them. And it's interesting, Prabhupada says mental speculators. I guess it's the word jnani is muni. Muni is mentioned here. Muninam. There's so many references we could go to here. But we'll read the purport. Even the greatest philosophical speculators cannot have access to the religion of the Lord. It is said in the Upanishads that the supreme truth, the absolute personality of Godhead, is beyond the range of the thinking power of the greatest philosopher. He is unknowable by great learning or by the greatest brain. He is knowable only by one who has his mercy. Others may go on thinking about him for years together, yet he is unknowable. He only reveals himself to the one he chooses. He's completely independent. He doesn't randomly choose, of course. He doesn't randomly choose. It's like if we want to associate with people, generally speaking, depending on the rasa that we want to have, if we want to have a fight, we'll associate with our enemy. If we want to have a loving exchange, we're going to associate with somebody we feel a loving relationship with. Somebody who you can feel, compatibility with. He doesn't just reciprocate, he does reciprocate with everyone, and if you're his enemy, he'll bash you up. Amen. In the material world, will bash you up. Give you a good thrashing. And if you don't want to know him as a person, but you're defined here as some kind of Paramahamsa, he may allow you to enter into the impersonal Brahman and exist there. But if you're favorable, the whole process of devotional service is, and a kulyena is meant to be favorable, and with favorable devotional service, the Lord will favorably reciprocate and reward one accordingly. and he's not obligated. It's not like a material subject matter which may be possible to analyze with our facilities or our faculties that we have. Maybe. But the Lord isn't. We cannot measure him. He's immeasurable. He cannot be, as we heard just now, Shri Krishna Namadina Bhavat Goyamindri is not understandable by those whose senses are not pure. And even then, it's up to the Lord. He reveals himself according. It's up to him what he reveals and how he reveals himself accordingly. The very fact is corroborated by the Queen, who is playing the part of an innocent woman. Women in general are unable to speculate like philosophers, but they are blessed by the Lord because they believe at once in the superiority and almightiness of the Lord, and thus they offer obeisances without reservation. Without reservation. Automatically, but of course the real obeisances are without any condition. They're ahitikiya patiyata. They're without any self-motivation. They're just because the Lord is worthy of offering our obeisances. We're meant to offer our obeisances to him. We not necessarily ask for anything in return. Just merely offering ourselves is another meaning. We're offering ourselves, offering our false ego in a sense, in the fire of sacrifice to the Lord. The Lord is so kind, he does not show special favor only to one who is a great philosopher. He knows the sincerity of purpose. For this reason only, women generally assemble in great numbers in any sort of religious function, but I see today the men are assembled in greater numbers. Where are all the ladies? There's only 3, I think, here this morning. Where's everybody else?
Tube strike.
Pardon? They're on Sankirtan.
Tube strike.
Huh?
The tube strike.
Tube strike, okay, there's a tube strike. The underground is on strike. Okay, maybe that's the answer to that. In every country and in every sect of religion, it appears that the women are more interested than the men. Well, this is a generalization, of course. And this is a fact that I don't know about everywhere, but many places I've seen this, that you have a religious function, and all, maybe a lot of men, that the wives may drag their husbands along, and the husbands are usually outside smoking or talking about politics or cricket or something. The ladies are in the temple or church praying or something, singing bhajans. The men are outside, more important things to do, so they think. It's very common. Very common. This simplicity of acceptance of the Lord's authority is more effective than the showy, insincere religious fervor. And she goes on, the whole chapter is more or less her offering obeisances to the Lord in various ways. Almost every verse starts with my respectful obeisances. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances. And that's like that. She's offering her obeisance. I offer my obeisances unto you. So it's important to know what we're doing. And this is the process of surrender, the process of offering our obeisances in various ways to the Lord. I'd like to read, and can we take this book, somebody? Can you bring the 5th canto, Bhagavatam? We could also read many verses how Krishna reciprocates in the Bhagavad Gita. He speaks, in one sense, the Bhagavad Gita is based on that verse, Yayatam Apapajate, 4:11. In one sense, because throughout the whole book, he's talking about how different people get different results from their various activities. There's karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, stanga yoga, just karma or akarma. How the Lord, what the results are. This is the Lord's reciprocation as He's rendered to me. And I reward them accordingly. Let's see, chapter 20. Text number 8. Or 9, something like that. Oh, maybe not. Not 20. Where is it? Not 20. Thinking of a different book. Got a bit tired this morning. Here we go. Here it is. Chapter 18. Yeah. Some of my favorite verses. Spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. We don't usually go to the 5th canto to hear Prahlad Maharaj. Go to the 7th canto, but in the 5th canto, where the residents of Jambudvipa offer their prayers to the Lord, is another form of reciprocation. The Lord reveals the different forms. Prahlad Maharaj worships Lord Nrsingadev. Others worship other forms of the Lord. Even Lord Chaitanya with his associates in the Mahaprakash pastimes, he revealed himself differently to each and every devotee according to their relationship. In the material world, we also see each other differently according to our relationship. And this is text number 8, famous verse, 5:18, 8 and 9. You can put them up if you want. Is it on the screen?
Yes.
Somebody's on the ball. Who's doing this one? Who's the expert? Oh, you're the man on the screen. Good. So there's a famous verse. Huh? This is a nice idea, but one of the things is it is a bit lazy. You become a bit lazy. You don't need to remember anything, and don't have to tax your brain. It's all in front of your eyes. Modern society is like that. I was talking a few weeks ago on some Sankirtan forum about how it's, according to psychological research and even medical and scientific research, it's found that reading the book, your apprehension, your absorption is about 6 times more than it is by reading electronic. They gave all kinds of different angles why they concluded that. Time and circumstance, we know there's many values to utilizing electronic applications and so on, but nothing replaces the book. Nothing. It's a special factor, a feature of how the Lord appears. You probably say, if you touch the book to somebody, isn't it? Or they see the book, they get benefited. I don't know if you touch your mobile phone to someone, if they get benefited or not. Maybe not. They might get upset. Maybe they get benefited if you punch them or something. I don't know. They punch you, they touch the devotee. Not so good. Not a very good idea. Take a mobile. Yeah. It's not the same, is it? It's nothing like the book itself. It's Krishna himself. Prabhupada said these books are deities. They're murtis. Isn't it? You can say on this Kindle's the Kindle's not so, a little bit closer, I think, but my mobile phone is my worshipable deity. My computer is my worshipable deity. You puja every day to your mobile phone. Offer your breakfast to your mobile. I've seen devotees do that. They put a picture up on their mobile and make the offering. Utility is the principle. And, Not exactly the mobile. To the book you do, many times we do that. I mean, all the time in fact. I picture Prabhupada or Panchatattva or whatever. Make the offering. Congratulations on your book distribution. I heard you did 3,700 Bhagavatam sets. Was that right? Pardon?
300.
Oh, I thought I got it wrong. I thought it was 3,700. Next year. They did more than we did in France. I can't believe it. How do they do that? That's not right. You got it wrong somewhere, I don't know. How could anyone do more than we did in France? I don't know. Impossible. So anyway, this verse spoken by Prahlad Maharaj, many of you know it, no doubt. Again, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsingadev. Sincerity of purpose it depends on our sincerity of purpose. We can repeat these verses and it's good. Or we can make, I don't know how deep the heartfelt verses are, or if they're just kind of hope against hope type verses that somehow or other the intent becomes selfless, or is it just hoping to get some quick return by making up some nice verse which sounds good but we're not really meaning it in our heart of hearts. My Lord, please release me forevermore from all of my attraction to this material world. Nice idea. But how deeply we really mean that is another thing. That's another thing. And Krishna will reciprocate, but he might reciprocate in a different way. And we realize just how attached we are in this material world still. We're not really ready or willing to really go the full what do you call it? Full path or whatever. We want something cheap without doing the actual sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsingadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts. So here it's related to Prabhupada's purport to change or remove the demonic mentality. This is his purpose behind it. Not just to kill, but primarily Lord Chaitanya particularly, of course, to kill the mentality. And the same thing with Tattenu Kampam, Sridharma Swami explains that Krishna arranges different situations. Sometimes we don't see it like that, but he arranges different situations for the devotee also, which are just suitable to remove the mentality which causes us to continually act in a way actually against the will of the Lord. We're so attached to various objects of this world or various hobbies or sense gratificatory activities in this world. And the Lord frustrates us or something, or makes it a complete failure, to help to release the devotee from that attachment which is binding us in this world. This is his protection. Kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in the material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world, unaffected by, this so much causes fear in this world. Because we're identifying with it, and you're going to lose everything. Whatever we identify with is going to be taken away. You can't stop it. Even if you are Hiranyakashipu. Is Hiranyakashipu anyone here? Is he here? He's up on the wall there, I can see him. He's having a rest on the lap of the Lord. Look, there he is. He's taking rest. The Lord, like a loving child, has placed him on his lap and is caressing him. Look, he's caressing him with his beautiful fingernails. Reciprocating accordingly. We've all got a bit of him inside us. enjoying spirit, materially enjoying. So here we see that by your mercy, it's the mercy of the Lord, that he, in the case of Hiranyakashipu, is his mercy, he killed him, because he had another few lifetimes in his service to the Lord there, but generally speaking, that's your end of your material sojourn. And could go on and on, but this is, everything the Lord does is all beneficial to everyone, no matter what it is. He's trying to act for the welfare of the conditioned souls. We're meant to be in the spiritual realm and not meant to be under the apara prakriti, the material energy. They're meant to be under the superior energy, protected by the superior energy. So he acts in a way to frustrate the devotee, so we give up the idea that we can find protection in the material world, that we can find shelter in this world, that we can find satisfaction in this world, that we can be the controller of this world, the proprietor. We have all these strange, not strange in one sense, it's normal in this world. From the pure spirit soul, it's very strange. The famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita, how's it go? Bhuktaram, Svidam, Gyatpamam Shantim Vichati, to become freed from the pangs of material existence by properly understanding Krishna. That he's the actual enjoyer, proprietor, friend of everyone, and so on. People don't want to accept that. We tend to want to see ourselves as the proprietor, the enjoyer, and well-wisher of others, whatever. And thus we're never peaceful. We're wrongly situated. We're fish out of water. So it's a very nice verse. You can read the purport yourself if you want to. It does refer to the verse we mentioned, Anakulena Krishna Shirinam, and other verses related. How one can become freed of envy, basically. Free of envy. Envy, we must. Envy, what does envy mean?
When we want something so much, we're willing to actively harm the other person to get it.
That's a practical perspective of envy, isn't it? You go to any lengths to achieve what you want, practically. And if someone else has got it, you may also go to any lengths to get it off of them. You'll kill them. A whole nation will swipe a whole nation out if necessary to achieve what they want. They've got something which I want. That's why meat eating is considered envy, because the animal's got a body and I want to eat it. So I'll kill it so that I can eat it. It's envy. Simple as that. And of course it has its root beyond and above that. What is the root of envy? Krishna is the root. It's all his fault. Don't blame me. Yeah, what put that in a practical terms, as Arjuna put the material perspective in a practical term. Put that in a practical term. I want to be Krishna. Get rid of him. Impersonalism is therefore also, although they're transcendental, is a space there where they're actually envious of God in this real sense of the term. They don't accept him as being the personally speaking, the source of everything. And the material world, of course, is completely denying him more or less. So the religiosity helps people to be a little bit conscious of his position, but there's still, we're seeing him as an order supplier or a reliever of distress or whatever, so he will reciprocate accordingly. But the devotee doesn't ask any of those things, he just wants to serve. The devotee just wants to serve the Lord. Gives up all other, sarva dharma pratyaya, gives up all other objectives of approaching the Lord. Just approaches the Lord, do as you wish with me, my Lord. Whatever, I'm yours. As you wish. Punish me or Make me broken-hearted. Do as you wish. That's the Paramahamsa. It's not just a learned fellow or a renounced person, but his real renunciation is his complete dependence on the Lord, completely surrendered. So, so those who want to be God or want to enjoy on the level of God, enviousness results in their being in this world. So the next verse is very significant. The first verse is, which we just read of Lord Prahlad Maharaj, is basically one's own heart. Please remove this enviousness from my heart. Please cleanse my heart. You can say it's a little selfish, but as long as the heart is not cleansed, then we can't really serve or bring pleasure to the Lord. We're on the path, but we're not actually bringing him full pleasure. So the devotee knows that. So he knows on his own that we can't do that. He tries, but we know it ultimately depends on the mercy of the Lord. And then, when the heart is cleansed like that, then naturally, the next verse, which is again a very famous verse, where are we? Bump forward a verse or two here. This is how, when the heart is cleansed, and the natural characteristics of the spirit soul manifest. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thoughts of him. So beautiful. Prayer, or offering of Prahlad Maharaj, asking the Lord, please fulfill this prayer. And this is the mood of a devotee. Vasudev Datta, of course, is a expansion or form of Prahlad Maharaj, non-different. And even Haridas Thakur, to some extent, Prahlad Maharaj is also there in the form of Haridas Thakur. It's the mood of all the pure devotees of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada. Paradukha Dukhi, they cannot tolerate the suffering of others, because everyone is Krishna's part and parcel. You know, even the finger is part of the body. If the finger is pained, the whole body is concerned. It's not, who cares about the finger? It's nothing. Little finger. Can live without it. But no, we put all attention to try to... So the pure devotees, they are distressed to see Krishna's... Those who are supposed to be bringing pleasure to Krishna are not bringing pleasure. So the pure devotees of the Lord are very... Paramahamsas are very disturbed to see that. They want Krishna to be happy. So the more that the parts and parcels of the Lord are connected favorably with him, then the more he'll be. His happiness can increase. It's already full, but it's ever increasing. And that's preaching, to try to reconnect everything with Krishna, to bring him pleasure. Secondary factor is to release the conditioned soul from suffering, but the primary one is to bring pleasure to Krishna. So preaching, book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan, every aspect of our preaching movement is for that purpose, to bring pleasure to Krishna. You know, going out on the streets distributing Prabhupada's books, we all know from the practical point of view, is without a doubt most pleasing way to receive. It's Krishna's mercy to get the chance, it's Krishna's mercy for those who actually take that opportunity. That's how we get that mercy. By doing that which pleases Krishna. What if we've gone over time? I don't know if that's pleasing to Krishna or not, but it's probably not pleasing to you. So we will stop there. Somehow or another, try to please Krishna in every act. Dress the deities for his pleasure, cook for his pleasure, clean. Just like we was looking this morning, right behind you there, there is the Charanamrita. You see the Charanamrita? What's to the right of it? If you look right behind you there, what do you see on the wall? Pardon? You see some, It's like an X sign, isn't it, on the wall there? Yeah, that's from this morning. We just rubbed our finger on the wall and suddenly the wall became clean. That's dirt. God knows how many years that's been there. Little things like that, you know. That's just murder, isn't it? Right? You just rubbed your finger. I said, what is that? Why is it so dirty looking? He never even... Oh. His head Pachari. This is what you're supposed to do. I'm surprised. I'm going to get on Nrsimha Kavach's case. He should have noticed that. Isn't it? Simple little thing. It's Krishna's room, you know. Everywhere is Krishna's room. But the temple probably could be cleaned. Possibly. Maybe you can put it on the next annual general meeting agenda next March. And perhaps that by the next year it could be cleaned. What do you think, Murray? Possible? An idea. Clean it. If you clean the temple, it means you have to clean that as well. It's not just quick flip on the floor. Please, Krishna. That's the idea, isn't it? Anyway, we know we're not on that level of absolute purity, but at least we try that which we can see, that which we know, we should try to do it. Hare Krishna. So today you're going to double it, okay? Don't let them come back unless they've doubled it yesterday. Where is he? How many books did you do yesterday? Double it, okay?
I think I can.
You think? I think is not enough.
Triple it.
More than that. Everyone should follow in his footsteps. I want you to increase it by at least 30, 40 times today, okay? And everyone do the same, okay? If you did 30 books yesterday, you have to do how many today? 900 books today, okay? Here you can set the pace, okay? What to do? Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I think you have a good chance of achieving that today. What do you think?
I think I did.
You had a good day yesterday. That's the good days. Those are the good days. That's the days you can really remember Lord Chaitanya. Trinadapi Sinichena Tarodapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena. Sometimes you feel like sometimes you get so upset you can't control your anger sometimes. Hare Krishna.